So, this is not a video idea that not to say I've never planned on doing it. It's just I didn't plan on doing it now. And then I kind of got challenged in a good way. And that's by Heartstorm Media. So I'm going to leave a link in the description box below. But this is my top 10 most favorite Giants of all time. Now, for all you guys, you older guys, I'm not dissing the ones that came before, like the Frank Giffords. It's just, I'm going to go by the guys I remember playing as a little boy all the way up till now. So I hope you guys enjoy. And with no further ado, let's get into the top 10 OGRs, most favorite Giants of all time.
The number 10.
So I'm going to quickly name my honorable mentions before actually naming the top 10 player. And my honorable mentions as follows. Gary Reasons, Jeremy Shockey, and last but not least, Osi Umenyiora. With no further ado, my number 10 most favorite Giant of all time is Stephen Baker. Why? Quite frankly, Stephen Baker personified what it means for me to, what I look for in a wide receiver as a little kid. As a little kid, Stephen Baker personified. I loved speed, and I loved big catches. And every time I looked at the television, Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker, was making that play.
Oscar throws, touchdown, Stephen Baker.
The number 9.
So my number 9 most favorite player as a Giant is no other than Jesse Armstead, because he's our last great middle linebacker, and he was a hell of a player. But with no further ado, let's jog our memory with a quick highlight.
Craig out of the shotgun, steps up, penalty marker down, the pass is intercepted. Jesse Armstead brings it back. Armstead, they go all the way. He's in, touchdown.
Man, jog down memory lane. If I'm not mistaken, that was a pickoff of a former New York Giant, Dave Brown. Either way, let's get on to... So, my number 8 most favorite Giant of all time is 1979 first round pick, number 7 overall, Morehead State, Phil Simms. Let's get into a quick highlight.
They've been able to protect Simms. He's got Bavaro, a touchdown. A one-handed catch.
Honestly, what a grab by Bavaro, and what a great dime by Phil Simms. Either way, let's get into our number 7 most favorite Giant of all time.
The number 7.
So we're going to get into the 1979 first round, number 8, by no mistake, Ottis Anderson. Now, obviously not drafted by the Giants, a longtime Arizona Cardinal, but he has some of his most memorable moments as a Giant. Because in that season, that destiny run of 1990 with all the injuries, he wasn't even the first. He wasn't our starting running back. It was Rodney Hampton until he went down. Then it was Maurice Carthon until he went down. Then old Ottis Anderson came alive and helped propel the Giants into the playoffs, and obviously had that great Super Bowl where he was MVP. But with no further ado, let's get into a highlight of Ottis Anderson before we get on to our number 6 pick.
On the Cardinal 30-yard line, great field position, and they take a flea flicker, and Ottis Anderson carries inside the 10-yard line.
The number 6 most.
So our number 6 overall most favorite Giant, or at least mine, sorry, Mark Bavaro. 1985 4th round selection, number 16th overall in the 4th round, Mark Bavaro. And I wonder what highlight we're going to show for Mark Bavaro. It's not like he has a ton, right? Nah, all joking aside, let's get into the Mark Bavaro highlight before we get into number 5.
On 2nd and 10 from the 50. Over the middle to Bavaro, and the tight end fights his way inside the 30, and a single effort to the 18-yard line, a solitary effort by Bavaro, who made some 12
He got separated from his helmet.
So, my number 5 most favorite Giant of all time is Michael Strahan. Why wouldn't it be? Because he personified what it means to play hard and have fun on the field while joking around and being one of the most dominant pass rushers the New York Giants have ever had. Why number 5 wouldn't be Michael Strahan, and why would anybody leave Michael Strahan after their top 5? I do not know. There's a reason why I'm wearing a Michael Strahan jersey right now. But with no further ado, before we get into number 4, let's check out a Michael Strahan highlight.
3rd down and 7. Good jump off the line by Strahan, who gets the sack. Boy, he came
1996. What a great year. 2nd round, number 4th overall. We take wide receiver Amani Toomer, and as far as I'm concerned, the best Giants wide receiver of all time. And quite frankly, when I took Amani Toomer, I didn't even like Amani. He played for Michigan. Why would I? I'm a Penn State fan. But as time grew on, Amani grew on me. And you know what? He personified what it means to be a Giants wide receiver. That's why he's number 4 on my list, and that's why Amani Toomer is one of my favorite Giants of all time. Let's check out a highlight until number 3.
Wasn't out there making a tackle. That's right. There's not many other tacklers out there.
Collins lofting to Toomer. Touchdown Giants.
The number 3.
So, this next guy that on our list, number 3, and was the first round draft pick for the Giants in 2004. Obviously, most everyone's favorite New York Giant. He's 3rd on my list, though. Eli Manning. He makes the top 5 in almost every list. And if you have him number 1 on yours, great. Me, there's just Giants I currently love better than Eli. And there's guys I will always love more than Eli. But obviously, Eli will always be on my list. It's one of the Giants. He's the best Giants quarterback of all time. How can he not make your top 10? Either way, the highlight I'm about to show before we get into number 2 is going to be a touchdown pass to TJ Jones. I was live at that game. It's one of my fondest memories, even though we lost that game, of Eli Manning, and it would have been his last touchdown pass if he never threw another touchdown pass in the NFL. And I do believe this would have been his last touchdown pass had Daniel Jones not been injured. But either way, let's check it out before we get into number 2.
On 2nd and goal. Manning, play fake. With time, throwing end zone. It is caught. Touchdown. T.J. Jones.
Number 2, you've guessed it. If you've watched this channel long enough, you know how I gush about him. And that is Saquon Barkley. And for me, he's going to be what Eli Manning is to most Giants fans. I followed Saquon Barkley because I'm a Penn State fan from his freshman year, where he broke out against Buffalo, all the way until now. He's going to go down, regardless of how long his career is, my favorite running back of all time. He's very soon here going to supersede Barry Sanders in my book. I love Saquon, and he will eventually become my number 1, but right now I just don't put him there. So with no further ado, let's get into the Saquon highlight. No, it's not a Giant highlight because it's one of the single best runs I've ever seen out of a running back, period. So, with no further ado, before we get into number 1, let's watch Saquon.
going one play.
And does escape. Saquon Barkley in the clear. Still going. Saquon Barkley all the way to the end zone. Electric, 79 yards.
And now, number 1.
So at this point, I think we can all guess who my number 1 New York Giant of all time is. Drum roll, please. Lawrence Taylor. 1981 second round pick. Oh, sorry. First round, second overall, Lawrence Taylor. With no further ado, let's watch that highlight, and I'll close it out.
Down Lions. Here comes the rush by Taylor. And you talk about strong. You talk about athletic ability. Look at that.
So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Again, shout out to Heartstorm Media for giving me the video idea, or at least challenging me to it. All that being said, again, I encourage everybody to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell. Let me know what you think about the list down below. Either way, it's been OGR Sports, and I'll catch you on the next video.